So this is our red stem Ceanothus. Also, its Latin name is Ceanothus sanguineus. See the very distinct reddish tips. This one's blooming a little bit at the right time, obviously. It blooms mid-May. Our other species of Ceanothus is the velutinus, and that will be blooming roughly more in June. Slightly unusual for some of the Ceanothus. It has more of a toothed leaf towards the edge, and the veining is parallel, but it's parallel in a little different way than a lot of the other Ceanothus, especially our velutinus. So this is a deciduous Ceanothus. The leaves come off every year and they regrow. I can't get this one. Okay, and you can see the flowers are bunched up at the tips there, at the edge of the red stems. I like to always check out the Ceanothus. Here's another one. There's quite a bit here. So here's maybe a more well-developed leaf. You can see some of this veining here. This is the underside. It's slightly hairy, and then the top side, or the sun side, is brilliantly green. I'm tasting it, seeing what it tastes like. Immediately you get a sense of saliva forming in your mouth. Makes your mouth wet and moist. The blossoms, they're slightly soapy, but they do have a hint of a lilac smell. This has been extensively browsed. Deer, elk, they love this type of plant, to browse it, to eat it. As far as the scent, the bark actually has a slight sweet taste. I did dig up one branch just to see what it was like. One little rootlet. It does have a very strong menthol salicylates in there, kind of a wintergreen aroma in the root, and it's extremely astringent. Our other velutinus, which isn't growing right here in front of me, the velutinus is much more aromatic. The leaves are evergreen, they stay on the plant all year round. So this is our red stem Ceanothus, Ceanothus sanguineus. And I was a little bit surprised coming up here. A couple things going on. There's some of the death camas, which normally you don't see a lot of the death camas here. Might be able to see it through there. The arrowleaf balsam root flowing. There's a nice, you can see this is a dry year. So these are already bloomed. And this is a good root medicine for, I think I've talked about the balsam root in terms of both as a immunosupportive herb harvested in the spring before flower, and then as a late fall harvest where the roots are much more aromatic and it's more conducive to things like coughs, colds, more aromatic, helps with congestion, helps to liquefy secretions in the lungs from colds. This balsam root has two uses. Well, it has many uses, but it's actually hard to believe, but it is edible when it first comes up in the very early springtime. You can eat and they're pretty flavorful. They're not like a harsh tasting plant as far as an edible. It's so dry. But usually that intense aromatics of the balsam root come out more in the fall rather than the spring. It still is spring here. It's a brilliantly sunny day here up on the divide, on back of the Pend Oreille, with our beautiful Ceanothus sanguineus in intense bloom. Beautiful, fragrant, great red root to know and use.